Hey, well, welcome back to Mr. Ryder's Neighborhood. It's been a while since I've done a video, and a lot of it's just due to how much time I have during this part of the year where I'm trying to get schedules organized for the AHRA and tracks lined up and events coordinated, and I just don't have a lot of time. So you're actually kind of lucky that I'm not standing out here in PJs in the garage, but usually I'm like pretty much get up and go right to work and then stay that way until I go to bed. But today, I decided to give you a rundown on what I'm working on the Super Stock Buick. I originally had said before I had an 8 3/4 Chrysler, and we were going to use that rear end to put in this 63 Buick Special and build something with a front loader that I thought was a pretty good piece that was going to handle some clutch dumps on a fairly lightweight car. But as I was scouring the internet for a hogshead that I could use, because I had a 741 case which had this small pinion, and I needed like a 742 or a 489 is really what I was needing. I stumbled upon something that I thought was the end-all be-all rear end for this. And I know what you're thinking, Dana 60 or 9-inch Ford or whatever. No, I got something completely different than that. And I'm going to get the camera flipped around. I'll show you what it is. I'll show you how the suspension's set up in the 63 Special, and we'll kind of talk about the way ahead. All right, stay right there. It's coming at you. So it's been about 2 weeks since I've been out in the garage. I got my cold adult beverage here to get my juices flowing, but I got some parts in that we're going to be working on a few things. And I did finish up just kind of regasketing and getting that 70 Stage 1 carburetor together. But here is, so I have a Stage 1 motor I'm putting together that's bone stock. I actually wanted one of these larger sump oil pans for a long time. I just got that thing. I got 3 exhaust manifold, or header flanges, I guess. And you're probably wondering why 3, but 2 of them are for the Super Stock, and then 1 of them is for the turbocharged 350 Buick, the Project Boat Anchor. This here is a different carburetor. If you go back and look at some of my early stuff, I had disassembled a 1971 Stage 1 service replacement carburetor that was in horrible state of life. It had been sitting in the junkyard for like 25 years, and everything was rusted solid and frozen in there, and about the only good thing on it was the main body that had the numbers stamped on it. So this is the repair for that. This is a 71 4-speed carburetor. It actually has the pullover enrichment holes below the air blades, the secondary air doors, like a Stage 1. So that means the air horn is the same as a Stage 1. And since this is a 71, the base plate's going to be the same as my my 71 Stage 1 service replacement. But this is off of a 350 Buick with a 4-speed. And so I got that one off of eBay. So I'm going to swap the air horn and the base plate onto my 71 Stage 1 service replacement carburetor, and then I'm going to have a legit 71 Stage 1 service replacement carburetor. But other than that, here's the Super Stocker as it sits. I got the rear end pulled out here, and we'll climb under there in a minute. Here's the original rear end out of it. The best I can find is it's a 6 3/8 inch rear end. There was only 2 gear sets available, 336 and like whatever is the other one, poop, like 308 or something. And this rear end would literally blow up the second I dumped the clutch, even if it would probably just started the car up in the driveway. So we're going to replace it with this. This is, I know it looks like a 9-inch Ford, but let me give you an idea how big this is. Here's my foot, okay? This thing is a 9.3 Pontiac Olds. This is the predecessor to the 12 bolt. It's also what was used in top fuel dragsters up through the 60s until they started being replaced by 8 3/4 Chryslers and subsequently by 9-inch Fords. And now they're on to a 10-inch. But this thing is tough as tough gets. I mean, you do the homework on a 9.3 Pontiac Olds rear end, and you'll find that this thing is just about as stout as a Dana 60. It is a 9.3-inch ring gear. The hogshead is over here, or pumpkin, or whatever you want to call it. It weighs probably about 80 pounds. It is massive. It is heavy duty, and it is meant for all kinds of abuse. But the thing I like about it is if you were to build this car in 1964, this would be the rear end that you would use. This would have been the GM go-to rear end. Now, Chris Cox from Fab Race Mod Repeat is going to end up cutting all the brackets off, narrowing the rear end, and then moving the brackets to where they'll work on, it'll essentially just be a bolt-in for this 63 Special. And that's kind of the idea, is I wanted something that would bolt in, but now I got something that's GM, and it's a front loader, and I can have multiple gear sets sitting in the garage and just drop them in based on whatever track you're going to go to. And it does look like a dump truck rear end. It's humongous. So here's the other thing I was going to discuss. I had shot videos underneath the Special before, and this is the rear end housing area of the 63 Special. You can see the wheel arches and all that stuff here. But if you crawl up under here and look, this rear end is a triangulated 4-link. Now this is probably the first GM that I'm aware of besides the B bodies with the X frame that is a triangulated 4-link. I guess it'd be the first years of the A body triangulated 4-link, even though this one's a Y body. And if you notice the difference, it's actually got more things in common with a Fox body Mustang than it does any other GM A or G body rear end. Normally the A and G bodies and the A bodies have the spring purchase on the housing like this 9.3. Okay, this one has the spring purchase located on the lower control arm like a Fox body Mustang. Okay, meaning that the housing had nothing, had no spring purchase on it whatsoever. It's just your upper and lower control arm mounting points and your shocks. So here's the downside. They don't make, like, you can get replacement bushings, but they don't make anything that's like robust, more than just this rubberized, vulcanized rubber bushing, and you're kind of at the limit of the aftermarket, right? So you can technically just make a bushing, like a metal bushing that goes in there, like an aluminum or steel bushing. But I'm going to try something different here later, and then I'll probably make an episode all about it. But I found a place that you can buy urethane that they use for bowling balls. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this rubber, and I'm going to pour some liquid urethane in there and let it set up so I have a urethane bushing that you can't buy anywhere else. I'm just going to use the housing, the exterior of this bushing, and then you got the pin in the center, and you just essentially fill that up with urethane. This generally doesn't spin in here anyway, so you might as well just make it solid with that urethane. The one I'm going to use has a 95A durometer rating on it, so it is more like a, it'd be like a rubberized or a urethane bushing that you use for performance applications. The other thing is I'm going to try to urethane some front motor mounts, make them a bit stronger, and then I still need to find some time to get to the junkyard to get a floor. I haven't done that. I've just been behind trying to get things done. So once I do get a floor, we'll tack that in, and I want to make it removable so you can service the clutch fairly easy. I think it's the ideal situation. But that's kind of where I'm at now. 9.3 Pontiac bound. See if I can find a spool for it and some gears. If you know anybody with some 512 gears or 513 gears for a 9.3 Pontiac, olds, let me know. This is a 64 model, so I don't know if that matters, but it's the, I guess it'd be the third generation of this rear end. Or I'm sorry, this is a 62 model. So, but that's kind of where I'm at today. I just wanted to get you up to speed. I haven't really done anything with the exception of pick up that rear end from Clint at Clint Street Machines. He went and got that for me. Good dude. Go there and give him a like and subscribe. So I will see you later. We'll get back on some Buick stuff when the noose loosens, and hopefully I can get this rear end over to Fab Race Mod Repeat and get it trimmed up, ready for an install. I'll see you later.